Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast with Bakhtiyar. And here today I have Sripal Jain Sir, Simandhar Education, the founder of, and I say like co-founder of Simandhar Education. And thank you so much for coming, Sripal Sir, to our show. And uh, a brief intro about Simandhar Education and about you, sir.
Okay, so I'm Sripal Jain. I'm a qualified chartered accountant and a licensed US CPA. So Simandhar Education, I'm one of the co-founders for Simandhar Education. And Simandhar Education is basically an institute which provides various accounting and professional courses training, such as the US Certified Public Accountants, US CPA, US CMA, which is Certified Management Accountants, Enroll Agent, Certified Internal Audit, Diploma IFRS, and data analytics. So these are some of the skill-based trainings which we are providing to these students. So that is about Samandar and me, Bakhtiyar.
First question, the thing is that with the Simandhar education coming to like you have started in India. So when it got started and how this idea popped up?
So Bakhtiyar, basically we started it like almost 6 years back. So the idea started like because I was in teaching field before that as well. So it's like decade of experience in teaching. So before that, I used to teach at Institute of Chartered Accountants of India at
Okay.
Indian Railways Centralized Academy training for railways, and I
Mm-hmm.
was also teaching a lot of the MBA based students and all in management schools like Geetham, IIMs and all. And then later the passion developed because I've been seeing a lot of the CA students not having a lot of career options. Once they fail, they don't have any other route to go. And that's where we thought that we should definitely bring certain courses whereby they have certain career options. So they are not stuck in their careers. So that's how the idea of Samandhar education emerged. So we started in along with, so I and Poonam, who's my wife, so she also is a
Mm-hmm.
chartered accountant. So we
Yeah.
started this together, and now we
Mm-hmm.
have over 12,000 students at Samandhar Education. So pretty much bigger organization now with
Yeah.
so many students, and proud of what we are doing at Samandhar.
Yeah. Sir, you have said you have bought new courses and all. See, we the in COVID during COVID times it was started with the US CPA came to India and you can give exams in India, without going to Dubai or US. So how this has benefited? You have seen a spike in that US CPA after this rule has been changed.
I think definitely because of the COVID, and the CP exam previously used to happen in US and in Dubai, and
Yep.
then it came to India, and then it became a permanent move. Because of that,
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of students for US CPA, and one more course also blossomed, which was Enroll Agent, because the US tax work and US
Mm.
accounting work have got outsourced a lot to India. And it's just not about the center in India for CPA exam, but the opportunities have also been growing very rapidly because we have a lot of CPA firms who are coming to the US. So
Yep.
in that way, I would say that the CPA course or the EA course, Enroll Agent, and for that matter,
Mm-hmm.
US CMA course also with a lot of US companies setting up their shared services location here in India,
Yeah.
that have made actually a lot of students believe in this qualification and think that yes, we do have opportunities in this qualification. And that's where you have been seeing Bakhtiyar every now and then on LinkedIn,
Yep.
people getting placed and tagging us. And that
Yep.
is
Yep.
one of the reason why it's happening, right? So I would
Yeah.
say to your question that CPA exam in India have just expedited the process, I would say definitely, right? Because the
Yeah.
exam previously happening in Dubai, now
Mm.
in India, this is
Mm.
definitely a great move.
Okay. So, as Simandhar Education, you co-founded it with your wife, and so one question to you: how this venture, how this Simandhar Education shaped your your life today?
So I think I and Poonam started it. Later, my elder brother joined in. So he works at
Mm.
Microsoft in the US.
Okay.
and that's how we scaled up. So we were one employee, two, three people, along with my
Mm.
wife, and we had one or two employees.
Mm-hmm.
6.5, 7 years back. Now we are a
Mm-hmm.
team of almost 100 people, right?
Oh,
So there
great.
are 100
Yeah.
employees which we are at Simandhar Education. So it have grown to a bigger team. We have scaled up in a nicer way, thanks to
Mm.
Kapil and the addition of him. So who's my elder brother, kind of made Simandhar more stronger and made me also little focused on certain important areas like teaching, placements, and all. So I would say that's how I see that our vision and our aim is to just pass the student and to ensure that he gets placed.
So that's like I've seen the placement rates are pretty much high. In Samandar, you have much collaborations with almost every firm, every offshore practice in India, which are major offshore practices in India available. We'll come back to this offshore point. Some couple of personal kind of questions which I want to ask. So, see, we all start and we all make mistakes at some point of time during life, and we all learn and then grow. So, what advice would you give to yourself if you see yourself a decade back? So, what you will think?
I think I regret that I didn't start the institute a bit earlier. I think I
Hmm.
should have started a bit earlier and I could have added more value to our students. So the only regret is that I think 2 3 years before what we started, like, so we would have been a 10 or 11-year-old company today. That would be the biggest regret. I think rest other than that, I was very confident when I left the corporate. So my last company was Glue Mobile Inc. So previously I used to
Okay.
work with Techem, Infosys, and
Hmm.
then Virtusa. So Glue
Okay.
being the gaming company in the US. So I think I was pretty much confident that I will not be able to contribute much to the corporate world because my passion was for teaching. So I think
Mhm.
that is one of those things that decision took a bit longer than what I expected. As you know, Bhaktiyar, it's not easy to leave the corporate career like that, and
Correct.
especially with so good companies I've been working.
Hmm.
So it was
Yep.
a big decision, but then that's what I could have taken a little earlier. Might have added
Hmm.
20,000 students by today. It's just not about the volume of the students, but I could have
Yeah,
added
yeah,
more value to many of them had
yeah,
I started a bit early.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. So, like you have a very busy schedule. You run an institute, as you said, of 12,000 people, 100 employees. So, how do you plan your day, or what is like for your self-care? How do you plan it? Like you go on a vacation or a holiday or go outing, long drives. How do you plan it?
So I think I start my day a little early, like 4:30 to 5 o'clock. Mostly during my FAR classes, which I take for CPA accounting
Hmm.
classes. That time I like wake up at early morning 4. Else it's normally at 4:30 and all. And
Okay.
straight away start with ET Now, the newspaper and all, and then start with a bit of meditation, yoga, and all those stuff. So every day I ensure that 1 hour I spend for my body because these days, Bhakti, you know that
Yep.
medical issues are happening a lot. So just
Yeah.
want to be very good on my diet and on my body so that I can continue contributing to the society. So that is one of that has have been my biggest priority first. And then I have my baby who's Jian. So I spend a lot of time with him till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then I go to the office, come back again at 7, 8 o'clock, and then be in the study groups answering the students' doubts in those study groups. So we have a lot of study groups created for different
Hmm.
courses and all. So I keep participating, engaging with the students on day-to-day basis, answering their doubts and the queries and all, and then again collaborate with different corporates and all. So it's normally a very hectic schedule because you need to keep traveling, need to keep
Hmm.
meeting the companies, keep meeting the colleges, universities, chancellors, vice chancellors. It's quite a bit hectic profile, but then that's how it is. Entrepreneurship cannot be like you're sitting idle and
Yeah.
the students would come. It will not be like that. You need to continuously keep adding value in your career, and that's what we have been doing.
Great. Great. So you start your day as you have told how you start your day. How you like it's hectic, you have told. So how you keep yourself motivated every day because you are doing this every day.
So I myself don't know that every day what it takes that I be very motivated early morning. I see a lot of people placing, getting placed, tagging me, passing the exam with 98s, 97. So I think that motivates me more that students are scoring well, they're getting placed and all, they're getting jobs, they're passing the exam with great scores. So these are all motivation actually comes from outside, discipline comes
Hmm.
from inside. So I would say I have been very disciplined, and that has majorly contributed to this success of our institute also. Right. So typically each and every professional who's associated with Samandhar has always been like that, whether we students, whether we working professionals, whether we our own employees. So it has been very disciplined way of working. And it have all started when I've done my articleship with Brahma and Company in Hyderabad. So after the
Okay.
Big Four, it's considered to be one of the top firms today in CA. So I had my bosses who were like 89 years old, 95 years old. So they used to come at sharp 8:40. So अगर 8:39 हो रहा है तो आप watch में देख लेना 8:40 these guys used to be there when Honda City comes. So I remember during one of my stock audits they came 8:39. I was just watching. I like they'll not come, and then exactly at 8:40 they come and both of them run, take a lift and go up. So that is a kind of motivation I have got early during my articleship days. So I think what I am doing is nothing in front of the gentlemen. So pretty much proud, right? So whom you associated with, whom you so that kind of atmosphere comes in your work also. So I've been blessed
Hmm.
to be associated with such senior firms and senior professionals and all. So today also they don't use calculator for almost 8 9 digits. So seeing the ledgers without calcs and all. So normally such at least 1% of their qualities would come in me. So I would say that that has motivated me a lot to excel here.
They are actually pro max level.
Yeah.
Without using calculator, they are using they are doing all the calculation. That is like blown my head because we use Excel. We are not still
Today, I
believing
mean,
calculate.
see, Bakhtiyar, we normally keep using calculator even for 25 plus 35. So I
Yeah, yeah.
remember during my FAR class, I was just taking day before and I just asked them
Hmm.
700 divided by 35 something, and no one was able to answer. I mean, they're like so stuck as if I've asked something very different. So these days, people are so much on the social media and
Yeah,
on the systems, they've just even forgotten how to use their brains. So I think that is something which needs to be cultivated from our older generation, right?
yeah. I can count myself in that 700
Oh, okay.
divided by 31. Yeah. So as you said, like Simandhar, so majority of your students in Simandhar are based with the US CPA, EA, or what course?
No, I think we have a good distribution of EA, CMA students. EA might be around 2000, 2500.
Okay.
CMA might be around 3000 to 3500, and CPA is like obviously 8 to 9000
Yeah.
students. So
Okay.
somewhere around, I think the CPA quantity is more because uh,
Hmm.
the idea is like we started off with CPA first, right? So definitely
Hmm.
that would have had a bigger impact, and I myself also a licensed CPA.
Hmm.
So in that way also, and then most of them chartered accountants also do CPA because it's considered equivalent, right? Or everyone
Hmm.
wants to go to the US. So in that way, I
Yeah.
would say CPA students are a little bit more, but we are
Hmm.
focusing that we get students from all over the courses and all. But definitely, I think the CPA demand will be more because the US based outsourcing, which is happening to India, that will
Yeah.
continue to rise.
Hmm. Two contradictory questions coming up. First, will there be any saturation point for US CPA people in India? Like, will there demand is much more, we know that. Now supply we are giving, and we are giving at a rapid rate, as you said, it increased after COVID-19. So will there be a saturation point that demand means supply, or supply gets oversupply and demand gets up to this level? So
I
will
think
there a point?
I think the reason we might not see that is because of the cost of the CPA course. The
Hmm.
cost of the CPA course is pretty much high. The exam fees is almost like 2,50,000 rupees. So if I
Hmm.
add the training and all, the overall cost of CPA course comes around 3.5 lakhs. So it's not
Hmm.
that every Tom, Dick, and Harry can afford this course, right? And that's why
Yeah.
the demand and supply is particularly well managed. Moment if they actually reduce the cost by 50%, then you will see the way CA is getting now beaten up, right? In the placements and all these days, everyone is scolding ICI for not doing the placements properly.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think CPA also would go in that direction if the cost goes down, but I don't think so AI CPA will reduce the cost. So because the cost is very high, might not see the thing which is like supply and demand mismatch.
Okay. So again, one more question. We actually US CPA work in offshore practice. So how the layoff by Big Four in the West, which is happening in US, it happened, in UK it happened, will affect the Indian offshore business. Will that business be coming to India, or what will be going to happen?
I think the layoffs which have happened, right? So it is not much to do with the accounting or the audit or the
Yeah.
tax field. I think the
Yeah.
KPMG layoff have happened in the transactions service line, which is mergers and acquisition.
Yeah.
So because the M&A activities have slowed down a bit, so they are not
Mm-hmm.
having a bit of transactions client, transaction work client, or advisory
Mm.
clients, and that is the reason why there is a layoffs happening in that area. I don't think so layoffs can happen in audit and tax and all because that is recession-free profiles. Because any client
Yeah.
have to do audit, right? You cannot
Yeah.
tell that
But
this is a recession, so I can't do audit or I can't afford audit fees. Because audit is something which they need to do, tax is something which they need to
statutory
do.
requirement. Yeah.
They need to file the tax returns and all. So this
Mm-hmm.
is a recession proof qualification, I would say.
Yeah, I came up to this question because in the last 2 years, 300,000 accountants in United States have left their jobs.
Yeah, so I
Few
think that is
left.
more to do with they have been slogging a lot. Late nights, the work-life balance have not been pretty
Yeah,
much good. And second is
yeah, yeah.
US government printing a lot of money, right?
Hmm.
So many of them have become habituated to get the free money. So in that way, I would say that is the reason we see 3 lakh people living in the US from the accounting field. And that's a great news for India, right? So
Yeah,
we have a lot of these companies coming to India, setting up their offices in of US
correct.
companies coming to India, setting up their offices, hiring a lot of our talent. So it's a good news for India, anyways. If they leave
Yep.
more good news, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So, as you have, I guess, already answered this last question. What more job opportunities coming in India for US CPA, US CMA? I guess you have already answered. Like there are we are working in offshore, and the onshore is currently facing this issue, so automatically the work will come flow here only. So yeah, you. And one last question: is Simandhar coming to ACCA?
I think 100% yes. Bakhtiyar, I know you're also ACCA.
Yep.
So
Working,
I
not an ACCA.
almost
I'm
on the
just
verge of
studying. Yeah,
completing it.
yeah, yeah.
I would say SSC is terrific qualification. The reason why Simandhar have not been doing that since some years because of the
Mm-hmm.
placement opportunities. As you might have
Okay.
seen in Simandhar, it is very important that we place the student whom we train.
Mm-hmm.
So I focus a lot on all that things. Unfortunately in ACCA that placements have not happened what I was expecting since few
Mm-hmm.
years. But now that in UK and Europe the talent is not there for accounting, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
outsourcing is happening to India. And I feel
Yeah,
that again that ACCA will definitely take place like what CPA have done. Right. So we
yeah.
will see a lot of UK based accounting firms opening up in India, a lot of UK
Mm.
based companies opening their shared services location in India because the pricing is going up substantially because of the recession there. So we
Yep.
might see that they might try to compete, and with Britain exit right from
Mm.
Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So that
The Brexit
also
happened. Yeah.
indicates that the talent which they used to get from Portland, right? So that
Hmm.
would not
Yeah.
come anymore because they also will need to follow a similar visa process like
Mm-hmm.
India is. So I think
Yep.
then if that's the case, then people would hire from India than from Britain because previously what used to happen directly, these people used to come because Britain was a part of European Union.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is one of the reason why we see a lot of talent going to UK from EY, Deloitte and all. You might be seeing on LinkedIn, Luxembourg,
Mm-hmm.
moving to London, EY and all those stuff because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
talent is not there. And
Hmm.
I think I speaking out this will make students a lot happier, at least ACCA students, because I've always been against ACCA in the placement side. But on the quality
Yeah.
side, I think so on the terrific qualifications. I've never objected to that, but only on the placement side, I felt that they should improve a lot. Now that the exit have happened and a lot of outsourcing happening to India, and also the talent in the UK is not good, and that's why you're getting a lot of regulatory issues and all, because the talent what the big fours are hiring in the UK, they're
Yeah.
not at all up to the mark. So one is regulatory issues, second is visa issues, third the pricing related issues, because the pricing needs to be there, right? So these are some
Yeah.
solid reasons why I wanted to come to ACCA market, not because I need to get more student or something like that, because I'm getting a lot there with CPA and all, but I think ACCA, I think UK and Europe market will explode now. And with Russia thing and all, they are watching closely at India on outsourcing a lot of the work. Already you might have seen the treaty which have been signed of India
Yep.
and UK. So a
Yeah.
lot of the study visas are also getting approved and all. So UK is becoming a bit flexible, and it has to become. If they want to really grow, they have to be lenient on immigration. So I think that's what they are trying to do, and that is where I would say that Simandhar is the right time for Simandhar, because all the big fours have been pushing me a lot that Sripal start ACCA, because we are not seeing the value adders in this
Yeah.
thing. Because what's happening is, Bakhtiyar, here everyone is training, but no one is kind of ensuring that they get groomed as per the corporate requirements. And that's why, since we are tied up with Deloitte, EY, PwC,
Yeah.
KPMG, so most of their leaders keep pushing me that you should definitely come in the UK part also. So now it's the time to tap UK and Europe market also for our students. So we are also seeing if we can get some German languages, or
Okay.
I would say Spanish, German, and all, because you might see, if our students want to go tomorrow to Europe, language is always a big barrier. So we
Yep.
at Simandhar are trying to work on that area also. So let's see how it goes around actually. But good times for India. I'm expecting huge outsourcing. Lack of
Yeah.
talent in UK, US, Europe means great opportunities for our students in
For
India.
India. Yeah. So job market is opening and it's on fire, I guess. Thank you so much. End of my questions. And thank you so much, Sripal sir, for joining. And
Thank you, Bakhtiyar. You're doing a fantastic job. New podcast. So it's a good new start for you. So I wanted
thank you so
definitely
much.
to be associated and encourage and motivate in for your new thing which you have started. You're doing an amazing job. Please keep continuing the same. I have been following you on LinkedIn, seen your photo with BDO CEO. So good to see. We are tied up with BDO Rise also for
Yeah.
our CPA training.
Yep.
So feels good that we are tied up with almost so many big companies, and then seeing our students there performing, right? And it definitely makes you feel good. I just hope, Bakhtiyar, you also enroll very soon for CPA from video. Definitely, I think they'll nominate for sure. But you're doing a great
Yeah.
job on a serious note. Keep it
Thank you
up,
so
Bakhtiyar.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who are listening to this. And please subscribe and like if you love this episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you,